Hello everyone, Happy New Year to you all, and welcome to the newest weekly upload updates. I've actually forgotten what number this is, so I'm not gonna say it. We've got some pretty interesting stuff to show you, some new arenas, and one certain individual that I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there are excited to see or have seen if you watched the last video that I actually uploaded to the channel here. But we're going to start things off with a brand new car that you also saw in the last video that I had uploaded. This here is a 2016, I guess we could say 2017 rookie, and he goes by the name of Neon Deon Dash. And that's pretty self-explanatory if you take a look at his ring gear. This is a highly athletic type of competitor. He's kind of in the same line as a Kofi Kingston or a Shelton Benjamin, which is in actuality the basis to his entire in-ring style, moveset wise. Really acrobatic, a lot of high-flying, agile moves, and he's pretty quick for a guy of his size. But obviously the thing that stands out the most is just his appearance. Kind of in the same way that I've used with a lot of the attires that I have made for CAWS this year. I'm using styles for text and for graphics that give a much more artistic look, a very good look as far as the designs go. And there is some secret weapons out there. There are some extremely powerful effects that you can create using Photoshop styles, or if you want to, you can just go with a shortcut and buy them. Like, you can find a lot of them on websites. You can download some on DeviantArt, and they can be used in Photoshop or GIMP if I'm not mistaken. Very good effects here that I think a lot of people should probably take a look into. Now, as we take a look at his second attire, you can see that things get really loud, and that was the entire point. I wanted to make that second attire really pop off, and you can't really get more pop off-ish than good old red and yellow, the old Hulk Hogan color scheme, brother. But yeah, he stands out in the crowd. That's pretty much an understatement. Simple palette swap, different effects on the text and the lines, but the effects definitely make this car stand out amongst the crowd. Take a look at his entrance gear, and yeah, you can see just the kind of guy he is. Really flashy, flamboyant personality, kind of in the same line as Cyrus the Entertainer. I might actually do something with these two, maybe. Don't know what. Team them up, start a faction, something like that. I think I probably do need a few more good factions, considering I have so many heel factions out there. But yeah, this guy, he knows how to look the part and stand out in the crowd, and his moveset also does the same as well. This guy is a really flashy competitor and a welcome addition to my roster. I'm going to be looking forward to trying him out against my more established rank and file in the XWA. Up next is the returning ringleader of the entity known as World's Finest, known as Brock Bentley. Well, he's not the leader, he's more like the co-leader of World's Finest along with Victory Musashi. But obviously, Victory's focus is more on his Katana faction, which makes Brock Bentley have more of the control over World's Finest. Per se, he is obviously an old school core of mine. I've made him for many, many years the quintessential wealthy, rich guy type of character, and he's always been kind of a no-frills design, really simple to make. I've had different logos that I've used, but there's the double B logo there that I made for last year's game that I'm pretty much sticking with for the foreseeable future with him until maybe I see the need to make a new logo, perhaps. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon, though. Not much else really to show on him. Like I said, it's a really, really simple design, and his appearance pretty clean, no tattoos, you know. There's not much else to say except that he's no frills type of competitor. He's got a really old school look and an old school moveset, and I've taken some cues obviously from the likes of Bobby Roode and Ric Flair, and of course the archetype for this type of character, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, whom he shares two pretty significant moves with, that being the $1 Million Dream, aka Cobra Clutch submission hold, and that infamous multiple fist drop that just looks pretty freaking cool. So we'll have a look at his alternate attire, and it's black. Like I said, there's not much else to say about his in-ring gear. It's never been too elaborate, straight to the point, just like he is. He's all about getting down to business, and business is booming. So yeah, I can't really say much else for what it is that I plan on doing with him in the XWA show, because that would be giving away a lot of major storyline stuff. But just know that Mr. Bentley and the rest of World's Finest are going to have a significant role in things going forward. And now the guy that everyone that follows my channel has pretty much been waiting to see for a very, very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, this here is 3X Core numero uno, the King, aka Riot, making his triumphant return to action, so to speak. The last time I've actually used him in game was, of course, a year ago, or was it 2 years ago now, because it is 2017, so technically it is 2. But yeah, I had him ran over in a match that he was supposed to have with Tyson Blackheart. That was back in the last gen, and I haven't used him since because he's been on the shelf, and obviously that's not the case anymore, making his triumphant return to the fold and pretty much laying waste to Adam Warden in the process. That's going to be the beginning of some very, very violent things that this man is going to be doing to Tyson Blackheart and his contingent. Not just them, but a whole lot of other people too. This here is his comeback attire that I'll be using specifically for the shows for a while, and I'll show you how the second attire is going to look like. The reason why he's got the hoodie on, obviously, aside from the fact that it looks cool, is the fact that it's the only way that I can block off the horn type thingies on the Sin Cara mask, which unfortunately is the only mask that completely covers the face, as in you can't see the eyes, nose, mouth, anything. And they've had masks like that in the past, but obviously not anymore. So I had to improvise because I wanted to have one attire that completely covered his face, even though he does actually have a face texture underneath there. But it's all about the mystery with this guy, because there is a lot of mystery surrounding this guy. Couple of notes on the attire here. Obviously the shirt is something that I kind of gave a clue on if you follow me on Twitter. That, of course, being twitter.com/3xgaming, spelled the same as my channel. It's, of course, the infamous image of the late, great Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, a.k.a. the Notorious B.I.G., with a line from the Luke Cage series on Netflix that was said so eloquently by the character Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes. I'm actually going to put a clip on that for you in case you have not watched that show. If you haven't, you should, because that's really, really good viewing. But here it is.
You like my Biggie photo? Me too. You know what draws your eye when you look at that? The crown. Wanna know why? Because everybody wants to be the king. He slapped you like a little bitch. Not the kind of man to use a closed fist on a woman.
So, the moment I saw that scene, I knew that that was going to be something that I was going to be using for bringing Riot back into the XWA fold. And here you have it. I just wish I didn't have to block it off with the hoodie. But like I said, there's a legitimate reason I have to use the hoodie because of the helmet, or the mask, I should say. Kind of like a helmet. It's supposed to be a helmet, but you know, you get the idea. Anyway, that's the first cue. Second cue is the actual jacket itself. The buckles and zippers are actually assets that I took off of the Nick Virtue Core, obviously one of the more well-known creators out there in the core community. One of these days I want to actually work with him. Obviously he's a pretty busy man, but you know, someday I hope to actually make that happen, have an actual match with him, have it, you know, for YouTube and such like that. Really good designer, and I've always been a fan of his. And his stuff just basically worked because I didn't want to have just a solid black hoodie. I wanted to have some extra stuff going on there. And then speaking of extra stuff going on there in the back, anybody who plays Destiny will obviously recognize this gentleman. Well, he's not really a gentleman, he's more like an alien god, monolithic, evil thing that destroys worlds and takes whatever he wants, literally. This, of course, is the visage of Oryx, aka the Taken King, which was the main antagonist of Destiny's second DLC, well, third DLC, entitled The Taken King. So, yeah. I used it because it's a king. He is a king. Actually, my brother gave me the idea, and I wanted to do something different with this actual attire instead of using the typical logos that I use. So you got Biggie in the front, you got Oryx in the back, and it's unique. And like I said, this is his comeback attire. The skull design on the pants I've actually used on his attire from last year, which you really didn't actually see because I didn't use the call on any shows last year. I just made a version of him for last year's game for anybody who wanted to use it. But yeah, that's pretty much the basis of attire number 1. Now, as we take a look at his second attire, this would be his more commonly used look as of 2K17. And we went with the Bane mask because, like I said, all the rest of the actual luchador masks have the eyes or nose or mouth exposed, which was never something I used for his masks, but I don't have those options anymore. So I wanted to go with something that made him look as badass as possible, and you can't get much more badass than Bane. I used the same graphic texture on the Bane mask as I did the other mask to give it the actual Bane mask look. The cables, I don't know what the heck you call them, that you see on the front of the mask are not actually there on the mask itself, but you see it's got that effect going thanks to the textures, and yeah, it works. It looks extremely well. And as I said before, Mr. Riot does in fact have a face texture underneath there, but just for the sake of him remaining sort of mysterious, I'm not going to tell you what face texture I used. I'll let you figure that out once you download him and take a look at his designs and see for yourself. But it is actually, I'll give you one clue, it's a mix of 2 faces, not just one. He's not based off of any like specific person, but a mixture of 2 specific people. Then you'll see for yourself and maybe figure it out, and I'll give it away at some point, I guess, if anybody is interested, in the comment section below. Just ask and I'll tell you. So actually, let's go back in and take a look again at the skull design there. He's got a kind of Roman Reigns kind of vibe here, and mixed in obviously with the Dark Knight version of Bane, obviously with the mask. And that's pretty much going to be the gist of his look going forward, until they add some things into the game that allow me to make more of the traditional look that I had for him in the past. And I'll even show you how some of those looked like in the past versions of Riot that I've made in previous generations of the game in video form, with very, very, very low quality, because this was well before we had high definition. But yeah, he has evolved a great deal over the many, many, many years that I have made this character. Like I said, he's the first ever created wrestler that I have made on any video game. First made in WWF Warzone way back on the original PlayStation. And yeah, he's been a part of my collection ever since. He's basically an OG, and he's OP, and he is most certainly what I would like to classify as a boss level character. As a matter of fact, his stats are higher than any other stats of any other car that I make and will make in the game, just to indicate the fact that he's supposed to be the absolute best, toughest fighter, competitor, wrestler, whatever you want to call him, in my universe. And yeah, that's right for you folks. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are excited to get your hands on him. Luckily, he's actually complete, so by the time you watch this video, he and the other 3 CAWS will be uploaded to community creations. Search tags, as always, are going to be 3XCAW, that's the number 3, and the letters XCAW, and the letters XWA. And now we're going to shift gears and show you the arenas that I have actually made thus far for 2K17. And we're going to start things off with the brand spanking new Takedown arena. As you can obviously see, things look dramatically different from how it is that I've had them before. Namely, the fact that the logo is now completely redesigned. And the reason I did that, obviously, is because of the movie graphics that you see adorned across the Minitrons and the walls and stuff like that. That's the Extreme Rules movie from the Extreme Rules sets. It has different effects based on the assets that you use. And the main thing that caught my eye is the fact that you have that big old freaking X right in the centerpiece right there. That lends itself perfectly to the fact that the first letter in the name of my virtual promotion happens to also be an X. So it pretty much writ itself out into being the perfect setup for the flagship show of the XWA, and that basically made me decide I wanted to change things up. Nothing wrong with a little change here and there. Also, it doubles the fact that now the Takedown logo kind of has some similarities, at least in terms of color scheme, to the Girl Fight logo. And, you know, that's kind of a subtle bit of uniformity going on there. Unintentional, but it's cool nonetheless. And now we'll take a look at the ring. It's got the LED screen, you know, because it has to have that kind of new school look to it. And then the elements of the apron around the other sides of the ring, it's kind of the same that I've used on the old school Takedown set, except obviously the sky is red in this skyline design pattern that's on the background, as opposed to it being black. Got the old school wrestling mats on there. I might actually change those to the actual new school traditional flatter mats, but it looks decent enough as it is. Takedown logos again across the corners of the barricade, all over the place basically. It's just everywhere, you know. It's a ready identifier of the fact that this is the flagship show, the show that you're going to see the most of. And yeah, I really like the way that this set came out because it's, oops, too low. The set is freaking huge. It's giant. This is a larger than life presentation, which is exactly what it was that I was going for. And yeah, that's the Takedown set for you. And this and all the other sets that I'm going to be showing to you are also available for download on Community Creations PlayStation 4. Next up is going to be the set for Girl Fights, and it's got a couple of new additions compared to the last year's version of the set. I went with the cylinders along the top and the walls to give it a more uniform look, and it still has that NXT screen on the back with the LED lights, the Girl Fight logo, which, as I said, has the same color scheme as the Takedown logo now, with the red, white, and black, which I tend to overuse a lot. And that was very blinding right there, because that screen is really big. And the arena again has all the logos all over the place along the billboards. Take a look at the ring again. It's pretty much set up exactly the same way as the Takedown arena, except for the fact that there's some subtle changes. Like the mat is the actual flat mat that you see in the modern WWE arenas. And the variation of the set itself. Other than that, Takedown and Girl Fight now have some uniformity in their look and their presentation, not just here but also as far as their graphics. There's just a color scheme change with the nameplates and stuff like that, but aside from that, things are pretty much the same between the two shows. And that's kind of what it was that I was looking to make happen, and that's exactly what we got. Up next, we've got the set for View Japan Pro Wrestling, which of course is the sister promotion of the XWA. I can't really say sister promotion, but I also can't say that they're competition, because there's a partnership between these two companies, if you will. View Japan, of course, is based off of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Basically, the color scheme of the ring is loosely based around the same color scheme I use for the attire of View Japan's owner, who also just so happens to be a competitor in the company and in the XWA, that of course being Yoshi Togo, who you will see in the very next weekly upload updates. The View Japan logo, again using another style there, and I'm going to be using that same kind of style on Togo's attire, and probably a couple of other Japanese CAWS that are based in his Togo dojo discipline. I'm going with a lot of academies or schools, what have you, in competition with each other. So the Togo dojo has Yoshi Togo and a couple of other guys that you're going to see in future updates, and also obviously in the XWA show. And they'll have some similarities to them as far as their color schemes and the logos that I use, because I want them to have kind of a team vibe to them. But let's get back to the actual arena here. I wanted to make it big, obviously, and I will make a variation of this set here to kind of look like it's actually in the Tokyo Dome, with the what do you call the pillars along the edges of the ring and so on and so forth. I really do actually wish, though, that the Creator Arena had the raised ramp going to the ring. If you've ever watched New Japan Pro Wrestling, specifically their bigger shows like Wrestle Kingdom, then you would know that the ramp that they use doesn't actually slant downwards to the ring, but it actually goes completely flat across to the ring, to the edge of the ring, and that's how the competitors enter the ring, not through the steps. And there have obviously been some significant spots and moments of big moves that take place on that flat ramp, and it would be nice if they added something like that in maybe next year's version of the game to those people out there who do want to make actual New Japan arenas, or in my case something based around New Japan. So there's also some other subtleties that I have with this particular arena, specifically the ring posts. Like in Japan, they treat things like it's an actual professional fight. So you've got your blue corner and you've got your red corner, where the competitors will base themselves before the match actually begins for the introductions, which is a nice little touch. Also, I've got the branding going on the ring mat that you would see a lot on New Japan and other Japanese promotions. So the sponsorship is very much prevalent towards the production of the show. You got Ribera Steakhouse, Aqua Hydrate, 2K, and obviously the XWA, because it is a business partner to View Japan, parent company, so to speak. Togo in business with the Blackheart Foundation that owns and operates the XWA. So you got your joint sponsorship stuff going there, you know, legal business stuff that you're probably not even interested in. So yeah, the set looks pretty basic. It's got some really big screens to it. And that's what I wanted, because the set that they usually have for Wrestle Kingdom has a similar kind of design. And incidentally, WrestleMania's set started using that same exact style of design, using big overlays, large screens, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a nice look. It has a very, very big time feel of something very important that's happening. And you see the electronic billboards again, showcasing the View Japan logos. And this is the small version. Like I said, I will make a larger version of it with the bigger domed arena, and see how that looks. Mess around with it a little bit. But this will be the version that you will have available to you for download. Last but not least is one that's brand spanking new and really, really unique. This set is for a production that will be called Ambition, as you can see on the ring there. Now, what exactly I'm going to do with this, I, at this point, do not know. I actually made the logo last year in 2K16 and actually made a set and arena for Ambition, and just didn't use it because, you know, there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't pull off last year, so it got put on the shelf. What I'm going to do with it this year, I still don't know. Will it be another show? Will it be an actual pay-per-view event? That's all in the air. Right now, I'm thinking it probably will be a pay-per-view, maybe the first actual pay-per-view that I do after the season premiere of the shows. and it's got a really unique look to it. You got the over the edge, or not over the edge, over the limit set going on here with the circular, what you call set here, wall jumbotron. Trying to get a good angle on it for you with the Ambition logo rounding about it, and also screens in very unique places. I do like the fact that you can actually move them and change the depth of them, and even have them overlap and it actually register, because in previous games, if that happened, it wouldn't let you create those effects. So now it's a lot more flexible, and you, as a result, get a lot more unique looking sets like this here. I really like how that looks. And then you have the walkway with the yellow lights, the gold XWA logo there leading to the ring, and it's got a very unique feel to it. It's definitely a different looking arena from anything else that I have made in the past, which is exactly why I will probably end up using it in some way, shape, or form as a presentation of the XWA. Like I said, probably a pay-per-view CPV event of some kind. Just don't know if it would be a regular pay-per-view or something like a tournament or whatever. I am not sure. I just know that I'm going to be doing something with this, and one of those things that I'll be doing is uploading it for you to use yourselves. And if you like it, then cool. But yeah, we're just gonna make that happen there for you. And as I said earlier, all the CAWS that I have showcased in this week's video are available for download. That is Deon Dash, Brock Bentley, and Riot. I've also got Carmella Blackheart up for grabs for you. That will probably be a little temporary. She will be replaced by someone new as soon as I get that done, and we will continue to go from there. Search tags once again are going to be 3X CAW and XWA, and that's going to do it for this week's weekly upload update. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new to this channel. There will be more videos coming very soon. With the new year comes new things, and we're getting that much closer to the season premieres of Takedown and Girl Fight with each and every creation that I complete. So you want to stick around for those. Anyway, as I said before, that will do it. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, this is 3X aka OB signing off. See ya!